There is a woman sitting alone on a bench in the middle of a snowstorm at the edge of a frozen lake. She's not lost. She's not stranded. She chose to be there. In front of her sits an hourglass, sand slipping through it, second by second, like it's counting down to something she's terrified to face. And next to it, a single word, written in shaky handwriting on old paper. Someday, not never, not today, someday. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why that one word can either save your life or quietly ruin it. Before we go further, if stories like this hit something in you, something real, hit subscribe right now, because this channel exists for people who feel more than they say out loud. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is the someday you've been putting off? And if this story ends up living in your chest, the way I think it will, share it with someone who needs to hear it tonight. Okay, let's go back to the bench. Her name doesn't matter. Could be yours, could be mine. What matters is this. She used to run from winter. Every year when the first snow fell, she packed her bags, chased the sun, chased warmth, chased anything that wasn't cold, anything that wasn't still, because stillness terrified her. Stillness meant sitting with her own thoughts, and her thoughts were loud. But this year something broke, or maybe something finally healed, she wasn't sure which. This year, when the snow started falling, she didn't run. She walked outside, she sat down, and she let the cold touch her skin for the first time in years. Why? Stay with me, because the answer is coming, and it's not what you think. She carried that hourglass everywhere. An old, brass thing, older than her grandmother, passed down like a secret. As a child, she used to flip it and race against it. Who could finish their homework before the sand ran out? Who could tie their shoes, eat their breakfast, get dressed, always racing, always chasing time like it owed her something? But somewhere along the way, the racing stopped being a game. It became her whole life. Every deadline, every not enough. Every year she told herself, next year I'll rest. Next year I'll write the book. Next year I'll call him back. Next year I'll forgive her. Next year. Next year. Next year. Until one snowy evening, she looked at that hourglass sitting on the cafe table in front of her, and for the first time in her whole life, she didn't flip it, she just watched the sand fall. And something inside her whispered, what if waiting isn't losing time? What if waiting is the only way to actually meet it? Look at the picture again. Across the frozen water, there's a small cabin, lights glowing gold against the dark. She used to think that cabin was where happiness lived. Warm, lit up, safe from the storm. For years, she stared at cabins like that one from a distance, other people's warmth, other people's Sundays, other people's peace, and she assumed it would never be hers, that she was built for cold, built for waiting outside. But here's the twist, nobody tells you about winter. The cabin isn't the point, the waiting is. Because everyone who is warm inside that cabin tonight, they walked through their own snowstorm to get there. Nobody was born already inside, already safe, already done. She used to hate the walk. Now, sitting on that bench, snow gathering on her shoulders, she finally understood the walk was never punishment. It was preparation. Beside the hourglass, on that same weathered piece of paper, there's more than just one word. There were lines underneath it, crossed out, rewritten, crossed out again. She had been trying to write a letter, not to someone else, to herself, 5 years ago. The version of her that was so afraid of being still, so afraid of being too late, that she sabotaged every good thing that came slow instead of fast. She wanted to tell that younger version of herself something urgent. Slow down. You are not behind. You are early for something you can't see yet. But every time she tried to write it, the words felt too small for what she meant. So the paper just sat there, half finished, honest in its mess. And maybe that's the most human thing in this entire image. Not the woman, not the snow, not even the hourglass, the unfinished letter. Because how many of us are still writing that same letter, in our own handwriting, to our own younger selves and never finding the courage to finish it? Here's something almost nobody says out loud. Spring gets all the credit for growth, new beginnings, flowers, light. But nothing grows in spring that wasn't first buried in winter. Every seed that blooms in April spent months underground in the dark, in the cold, doing absolutely nothing that looked like progress. If you dug it up in January and asked, "Are you growing?" it would look dead, frozen, wasted. But it wasn't wasted. It was waiting. That's the secret this whole picture is trying to whisper to you. The woman, the hourglass, the note that says, "Someday, none of it is about giving up." It's about understanding that some of the most important growth in your life is going to look like absolutely nothing is happening, and you have to trust it anyway. That's the hardest kind of faith. There is faith in a season that offers you no proof. Eventually, she did stand up from that bench. Not because she'd figured everything out. Not because the snow stopped or the sun came out, or her coffee got warm again. She stood up because she realized something quiet and enormous. Not yet is not the same as not ever. She had spent years treating those two phrases like twins, like if something wasn't happening now, it was never going to happen at all. So she'd give up early, walk away early, numb herself early, just to avoid the pain of almost. But that night, by the lake, she made a different choice. She picked up the paper. She didn't cross out "someday" this time. She just added 3 words underneath it, "But I'm ready." Not ready for it to happen today. Ready to keep walking toward it, even through snow, even slowly, even if no one's watching, even if it takes another winter, and another, and another. So if you're in your own winter right now, if your dream, your relationship, your healing, your dream job, your peace feels frozen, distant, delayed, I need you to hear this the way she finally heard it. Not yet doesn't mean no. It means the sand is still falling. It means the cabin lights are still on, waiting for you to finish the walk. It means somewhere under all that snow, something is quietly growing, even if you can't see it yet. Winter didn't break her. Winter taught her to wait. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what it's teaching you too. If this story moved something in you, don't let it end here. Subscribe, so the next story finds you when you need it most. Comment your "someday" below. I read every single one. And share this with the one person you know is sitting on their own bench tonight, in their own snow, wondering if it's ever going to be their turn. It is. Just not yet.